know, this is quite a jam-packed little session. We're a small town in southeastern Indiana called Greensburg. I'll officially say welcome to the Greensburg Chautauqua with our little event. And we've done a virtual concert series, and we've had guests from all over the world. And today we focus on Broadway, and we start with you, and then we move to Euan Morton and Kerry Ellis today. But we are so excited to have with us Alyssa Fox, who has wowed audiences across the United States, performing some of Broadway's most sought after roles. On Broadway, she's an original cast member of Frozen, in which she has covered the role of Elsa. Welcome.
Thank you, thank you. My pleasure to be here. Thank you for having me.
And so we didn't go over like our little agenda. Would you like to sing a song and then do shout outs and then sing a song?
Absolutely. I think that's a great idea.
Okay, so we are ready anytime you are.
All right, here we go. Thank you. Thank you. All right, I have a few shout outs here. I know that there's some people who are very excited about Elsa, big fans of Elsa out here. Gwenna, Eloise, Rylan, and Sammy, thank you so much for joining us today. It's my pleasure to sing for you guys.
Alyssa?
Yes.
I've got Sammy with me.
Oh,
is it okay if she gives you a big wave here?
Absolutely. Please, I would love that.
Come right over here, Sammy. Okay, and look right up there. Come a little closer. Come a little closer. Keep coming.
Hi, Sammy.
Just a little closer, Sammy. There you go. Now, look up at that screen, okay, and wave real big at her. Wave.
Hi, Sammy. It's nice to meet you.
And I bet you've got another number for us, don't you?
I do. I have a really big one for you guys. The big Elsa song, Let It Go.
Hey, are you ready for that one, Sammy? She's ready.
All right, here we go. Thank you guys so much.
Okay. Yes, Dalton. No, we're not reading bubblegum brain.
Thank you guys for having me. It was a pleasure to see you today.
Oh, that was so special.
Princeton.
Thank you, Alyssa Fox. Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
Have a great day.
Thank you. You too. Bye-bye.
Is that Euan Martin?
Yes, it is.
Hi, I'm John Pratt in Greensburg High School, Greensburg, Indiana. I love your mask.
Thank you. Da 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 da. Yes. How are you doing, John? How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing wonderful, and my guess is that beautiful Scottish accent.
It is, yes, yes. Born and bred, which is why it's so fun to make fun of the English.
Well, I tell you what, I couldn't have picked a better guest. You know, we are in little old Greensburg, Indiana. We're a small town, kind of in between Indianapolis and Cincinnati. Mm-hmm. I'm sure you probably have heard, if not traveled to.
I've done a lot of driving in that area, yes.
Yeah, very good. And so this is where we're at. And we host this inspirational event called Chautauqua twice a year. Mm-hmm. And it's not always music. Sometimes it's history or the Holocaust or Nobel Peace Laureate. But because of the pandemic, we're virtual, which I think has given us some unique opportunities.
Absolutely.
To connect with people who it would be far more complicated to do so otherwise.
Absolutely. Although I would have come. I would have come in person.
You know, I just, in doing my my homework, I know you're a super guy. I know you're obviously talented. Tony nominated for your role as Boy
Boy
George.
George, wow.
And so you just dropped the boy, and now you're George the Third.
That's right.
Since I believe July of 2017.
17.
Okay. On the Broadway version.
On the Broadway version, yes. And he's still a petulant boy, you know. He's still a boy George.
That is so good. And, you know, I did a quick little Google, and I don't know. Oh, let me see that again.
That was my opening night gift from the company.
Oh, that's so cool. Well, you know, and I did a quick little Google, and this may not be accurate, but are they shooting for your return on the 4th of July?
Well, they were, but it's not going to happen now.
Oh.
Because of variants and how slow the rollout's going, it won't be until September, unfortunately. But they seem quite certain that it'll be September. Mind you, they've been certain of thousands of things recently, and you never know, do you?
No.
I'm just happy to have my new mask and new friends.
You know, and we're just happy to spend time with you. And I tell you, we saw, my wife Jill is one of your biggest fans.
Oh.
And of course we couldn't get all the way to Broadway, but we did see the touring production that
beautiful
Indianapolis.
Gorgeous production.
And I thought they did an absolutely fantastic
I hear
job.
the guy that's playing the king on the tour actually is just not as good.
But everyone else was almost.
Everyone else was amazing.
You know, but there was just something missing. You know,
there's something exactly. Maybe it's the Britishness.
You are filling in our gap. And speaking of Britishness, as soon as we're done at 2 o'clock, we just finished with Alyssa Fox, who has been doing Elsa on Frozen. And at 2 o'clock, we go to the West End of Broadway with Kerry Ellis.
Oh, wow.
And so,
this is crazy time. You're meeting everyone.
It's crazy, isn't it? But enough of me talking.
And is this the class down here?
Yes, I've got 2 classes here.
Hi.
Okay. And you see Mrs. Stark's class. I've got some of my high school students here.
In the room with you?
And so would you like a few questions before we sing the big hit?
Yes, come on, anything. Ask me anything. I can't hear the class though. You're not hearable.
Okay.
Is that a word? Is hearable a word? Put that in your dictionary.
Now Mrs. Stark is unmuting. Okay.
There's a little dog now with a tongue sticking out.
Okay. And I do believe your other biggest fan is Hadley. And Hadley has a question for you.
Yes, Hadley. I'm just looking at a little dog with your tongue sticking out. Is that you, Hadley? No, there you are. Hello. Where are you?
Hadley, wait.
Right there.
Hadley, wait.
I see you in your pink hairband. Very beautiful. I like that. How are you doing, Hadley? Good? Did you have a question for me?
Real loud.
How hard is it not to laugh when the audience is laughing?
Oh, it's very hard. Yes, I've actually have laughed a few times, but it fits with the character because he's kind of mad. So I just make my laughter part of my madness. But I've been doing it now for 3 years, so I know when they're going to laugh. If I'm any good, they laugh in the same places. So now I'm prepared for all of that. I'm very professional, Hadley. I'm very professional. Who's next?
Who's next? Here they come.
Wow! Oh, look, there's more people. Can you guys see each other? Can the upper classes see the lower classes here? Can you see each other?
Yes, we're
Yes,
all
hi.
truly connected.
This young lady is what you're all going to grow up to be. Hi, how are you?
My name is Kaylin Lowe, and I'm a senior here at Greensburg High School.
Hi,
And
Kaylin.
my question for you is, what initially inspired you to go into theater and Broadway musicals and that sort of thing?
Oh, well, I have to sort of say maybe that it was an accident of birth. I was born pretty dramatic, and I've always really enjoyed singing. And my mom was a singer, not professionally, but she sang in sort of some nightclubs. And when she was younger, maybe it was just in my blood. Really, it's all I ever wanted to do from a very young age. I remember when I was 7, we did a play at the primary school. We call it primary school, junior school, whatever you call it there. Probably the age of these kids, actually, maybe a little older. And we did a snowman, Frosty the Snowman, the musical, and we threw a rolled up newspaper at the snowman. That was it. We sang a ridiculous song, and that was it. I knew that day that I wanted to be an actor, and here I am, much older, sadly, and still an actor. So I feel like I did well. But yeah, I think honestly it was kind of a calling for me. You know, some people come into it later in life, and some people decide when they're 50 to give up everything they've been doing and become actors. I was just one of those that was born to it.
Thank you.
Yeah, nice to meet you, by the way.
You too.
This is my mask, by the way. This is my king mask. Have you seen my mask? Isn't this nice? Does anyone have a mask like this? Da 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 written all over it? It's very nice. Yes, my friend. Hi.
Hi, my name is Rebecca. I just have to say that Hamilton has definitely helped me with my U.S. history quizzes early on.
Excellent. That's our purpose in life.
My question to you is, how hard was the auditioning process to get into Hamilton?
Well, mine was probably slightly easier than others because I was working on a different play. I was playing Hedwig in a musical called Hedwig and the Angry Inch. And so I was on tour. And when the audition came up, I did it on video. Actually, I did a videotape and sent it in, and it went well. They did ask me to come in after that, and I met with them one time, and I sang through the King songs and did a little, stupid dance. And that was it. It was really easy for me, but that's because I couldn't be available in person, so they sort of rushed me through the process. So I was kind of grateful to be too busy to be available. I was going to try and show you a picture of my last job. I have it right here somewhere, some scandalous picture of me. There you go. That's what I was doing before I was employed. No, it is. It's not the magic of theater. The magic of theater. And so I was so busy I couldn't do it. And it was pretty easy. But it wasn't easy for everybody. Some of the ensemble had to audition 8, 9, 10 times to get in. And some of them are still auditioning now and still haven't got in. They're coming back for every round. So they're very picky on certain things. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course. Nice to meet you. Hello there, younger class. How old are the younger class, by the way?
7,
7, 8, 9. Oh, I've got one. Wait, listen. Why does 6 hate 7? Because 7, 8, 9.
We know that joke from
You don't know that joke.
We know that joke.
Let's go back to the upper students for a brief second. Hello, pirates.
My name is Allison, and my question for you is, what kind of training did you need to get on Broadway?
Well, to get on Broadway, I trained as an actor. I went there when I was 16 and I lived in London. I was born in Scotland and I stayed in Scotland until I was 16. And then I went to London for 9 years and I did theatre school, 3 years at theatre school, and lots of unpaid theatre jobs and voiceover work and just lots and lots of little things. They call you a jobbing actor. I was a jobbing actor. I always had jobs, but nothing very special. And then there was one year where I wasn't doing very well and I was working in Tower Records, which was a music sales store. And I got the audition for Taboo, which was a musical about an 80s pop star. And I got the job and it was very successful in London. And we were noticed by a New York producer and they brought me to Broadway. I never had any dreams of being on Broadway. I never thought I would be on Broadway. I was living in London. I thought I would just be a British musical theatre actor forever. And then along came this opportunity and I jumped at it. And I'm really glad I did. I've been here for 16 years. I'm a US citizen now. You can't throw me out. Yes. There you go. And, I've learned a lot here. I've learned a lot as an actor. I think I've improved and I've changed a lot too. Some of the more negative aspects of being an actor, the negative aspects of an actor's character, that sort of selfishness. Because it's your job is to sell yourself. It's not like you're doing math and getting the answer right or doing history. It's really I'm the product. So there can be a little bit of love for applause and a little bit of arrogance that comes with it. So we've all had to work on that issue, and me too. But I feel like being here in America for all these years has really helped with that. So you know, I didn't do much to get here, but I did a lot to become an actor.
Thank you.
But where I come from, education's free, so I don't have any debt.
Nice.
I know. You should have kept the king, everybody. No, why not? Why not the king? I have such beautiful outfits.
What?
Hello, my friend. We have a new friend up here. Do you know the lower class? Is this lower class connected to you? Like, did you guys go to the school that's down there? No?
No.
Yeah, they went to elementary school.
And you went to the same elementary school, the older class?
Me?
They should have.
I didn't. I'm an exchange student from Mexico.
Oh, you were like, I just skipped elementary school. I was a genius.
But I liked it.
Go on, I'm ready for your question, and hello.
Hello, my name is Caro.
Hi.
And my question for you is, what memory of your time performing do you cherish the most?
Of all my years of performing, or just of Hamilton?
Mhm.
Oh, all my years. Wow, that's a really good question. I've actually never thought about that before. I think that's a really hard question. I think maybe the Taboo. I was nominated for a Tony, and it was a very special year, and there was lots of parties, and you felt very important, and it was nice. It was my first time on Broadway. It was just like this whole whirlwind, and I sort of cherish having had that experience. Many people don't ever get that experience, so to have had it so early on, I cherish that, especially since it might never happen again. But I also cherish the fact that I do a lot of master classes. Sometimes I go in person or on Zoom, and I do a lot of master classes with younger people or with, you know, teachers who are teaching actors, and I get a kick out of that. I enjoy being able to impart my knowledge, but I also enjoy learning from those experiences. I learn the most there, so I guess I cherish those because those have affected me as well as I've been able to affect other people. But getting a Tony nomination was probably the truth.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course. Nice to meet you. What about one of the younger ones? Don't you have a question? 8-year-olds always have good questions.
Show me your name.
Hold on, sir. They may have a question down here in Dorothy Stark's world.
Get on camera.
Anyone? I'm moving back upstairs in a moment.
My name's Eva Jolie.
Hello. Do you have a question for me?
How did you become an actor?
Pure blind luck. I became a student of acting, but I had to apply for the school and go through the whole process of getting in. But becoming an actor, it's pretty much luck. Work, of course, is part of it. You do all the work, but you need to go through the auditions, and you need to get people to believe that you're the right person for the job. And a lot of luck and a lot of staying at it and not letting the hard times get to you, and always believing in yourself, and always pushing forward and saying, you know, no, this is what I want to do. I'm meant to do it. I'm going to do it. Even in that case, it's not always successful, but I think a lot of self-belief. Believe in yourself, as they say. Don't forget that piece of knowledge. Believe in yourself.
Thank you.
Yeah, nice to meet you. And sir, what's your name? Hi.
My name is Seth with Greensburg High School, Indiana. My question to you is, what lessons has acting and singing taught you throughout your life?
That there's bigger things than acting and singing. Yeah. I think I've learned that the world does not revolve around me, and that there's other places to put one's energy, but also that it's important to be a well-rounded, confident human being, whatever that means. I think I've mostly learned that there are very big things in this world that you can't change, and there are sort of medium-sized things that you can change if you really try, and then there's little things that you can change every day. And that being an actor and a singer has afforded me the chance to meet a lot of people and make a lot of change, but that sometimes it's been about just me. Actors can be a little bit selfish. So I think I've learned how to put that down through music and through art, how to let that be one thing and let me as a person be the other. I hope I've learned that anyway. I mean, I'm an old man now, but when I was young, I just, didn't really care about all that stuff. I just did my job and hoped I'd be famous. But that's a little silly in the end, because there's, as you know now, after a year of this pandemic, there's a lot more going on in the world that's much more important. So I've learned to make a different focus. Are you guys in acting class? Are you an actor too? No. You're like, no, God, no. Okay.
We're more the class that's reflective of all those books behind you. We're the history class.
Yes, I'm doing a history degree right now. I'm actually doing a European history degree right now. I'm reading all about this guy, Otto von Bismarck.
Ah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, who of course, we get the great city of Bismarck, North Dakota, named after the great late 19th century leader. So,
is it actually named after him?
it is. It's the capital of the small state of North Dakota called Bismarck.
Well, no wonder North Dakota involves itself in such realpolitik.
I got another question coming your way.
Yes, brilliant. More questions, please.
Hey, my name's Braden Jacobs, and I was wondering what the most difficult song you've ever sung before is.
The musical Chess, Pity the Child. It's really high and screamy, and I was dreadful at it. It was embarrassing. I almost lost my job forever. Yeah, that's the worst song. Singing the Hamilton stuff is super easy. It's the same song 3 times with different lyrics. And also, as I said earlier, I get to make fun of the English, so that stuff's cool. But nah, that's the most difficult song. Like rock music. I mean, I can do it, but it's just not my style, man. You're in the history class too? I love history. History's like my favorite thing in the world. You have to read this book. What history are you studying right now? Probably American. Americans always study flaming American history.
You know, we are right at the Revolutionary War, literally.
That horrible thing. I remember it well. Yes. We tried our best, but wearing red in the forest was a very bad idea.
Yeah, you should have rethought the Stamp Act.
You have to read this when you get to the Second World War.
Ah.
The untold story of the female resistance fighters in Hitler's ghetto. It's so moving and brilliant.
We actually hosted a Polish resistance fighter once here.
Oh, you did?
And in sum total, we've actually hosted 12 Holocaust survivors here.
Oh. And have you hosted any of the redcoats?
You know, we have hosted a few redcoats, just some more
Huge redcoats, maybe.
You know who we flew over, Euan? If you've ever seen the movie We Bought a Zoo.
Oh, Matt Damon.
Okay, it's based on a true story of Benjamin Mead, and we flew him over.
You don't need to buy a zoo. You work in a school. It is a zoo. Thank you for your question. This is my very important history book. This is one for the books.
Oh.
Now this is good history. That's good reading. Hello, sir. What's your name? Are you wearing an Irish t-shirt by any chance with a 4-leaf clover on it? Yeah, I knew I could see you in the background. Lucky you. I'm not Irish, I'm Scottish, but it's basically the same. We hate the English. Go on, what's your question?
Do you like being an actor more or a singer?
Oh, that's hard to choose. They're both similar and different. Most of my work is in musical theater, so I sort of do both at the same time. But being a singer has meant that I've been allowed to travel the world. I've sung in lots of different places. I've sung in Austria, I've sung in Sweden and Britain, here, and lots of places. So I've traveled more with singing, which is cool. But, you know, I love being an actor. I love them both the same. In fact, without them, I'd be very lost, I think. I can sing Happy Birthday really well. Is it your birthday? No. Okay, well, there you go then. I shan't. It's your birthday back there? Hi.
You know, speaking of singing, I'd love to hear a song.
Oh, I have a song. I have one lined up right now. It's as if I knew. Yes, I'm going to sing a little song for you. This is actually from the musical Hamilton, and this is the song that I would sing as the king. Okay? Trina says, other than studying history now. 1 second, I must answer this. Other than studying history right now, how else are you filling your time? I'm doing an awful lot of watching RuPaul's Drag Race. I'm also watching a lot of science fiction movies. And I've been watching television. That's how I'm filling my time. Okay, I'm watching TV. Learning nothing. Anyway, I'm because you've got another meeting to happen. Your next meeting's in London, so it's probably past 10 there. So we're going to sing a little song. It's called "You'll Be Back." It's from the musical Hamilton. Now, I've been told to tell you it's best if you mute yourselves, because otherwise we get lots of feedback and reverb. So if you mute yourselves when it starts, give me a thumbs up, John, if you can hear it when it starts. Okay? Just give me a thumbs up, John, if you can hear it when it starts. And if you want to sing along, please do. It will be very helpful to me. Here we go. You ready? Crazy. Thank you for dancing along, Dorothy Stark's World. John, I don't know if your students were dancing or not, but I'm going to say they were.
What was that, Euan?
I said, I don't know if your students were dancing or not, but Dorothy Stark's World was dancing like mad.
You know, you have to love that, don't you?
Yes, it's amazing. I love the enthusiasm and the joy and the joie de vivre.
Well, I tell you, you know, as we're about ready to say goodbye, which I hate that.
Me too.
You know, that one day we hope to see you in beautiful Greensburg, Indiana.
Hey, next time I'm passing through, or even just I'll come along. I'll join in. I've got a mask.
Well, you know, I can't tell you how much we would love that. And do you have a final joke for Mrs. Stark's room?
Oh, yes. Here's one for you. Mrs. Stark's World, are you ready? What do you call... Yeah, good. What do you call a fish with no eyes? Finally, what do you call a deer with no eyes? What do you call a deer with no eyes?
No eyes.
No idea.
The letter I.
Mrs. Stark is explaining that joke.
Okay.
Ridiculous.
They're lucky.
Well, listen, it's been a real pleasure and an honor to meet you guys. Happy history.
Thank you.
Nothing
Bye.
Bye.
He's gone. He's gone.
Kerry.
Hello, how you doing?
Hi. Welcome. You can't see everyone, but we've got classrooms scattered all over the school and into the community, and we're just so honored to have the London West End First Lady, really one of the ladies who caused me to fall in love with the stage. I have no singing talent, although I love to sing. I make no attempt at singing Defying Gravity, but you know, it was my very first trip to Europe. And what happened was, this was, oh my gosh, when you first were doing that, like 12 years ago, I guess.
Joe, that makes me sound old. Yeah, probably about then.
It was about then. And so I wasn't used to overnight flights. And I had almost no sleep. And I had my wife, Jill, and my daughter, Caroline, and they're both watching you, by the way. And so here's the three of us, and we knew nothing about Wicked. And it was the first 30 seconds, it was such a major chore just to stay awake. And then you came on stage, and it literally is one of those life-changing moments. So anyway, welcome to Greensburg, Indiana.
Oh, thank you so much. This is so exciting. I'm so sorry about your horrific time last week, but I'm so thrilled that we managed to sort this out. I'm thrilled to be here. I'm glad we got it sorted out. So yeah, I'm excited. Thanks for having me.
Well, we're just thrilled to have you. And you know, I know we've got a couple songs.
We have.
And we've got some questions. I thought maybe we'd do a few questions and then we'll do a song, and then we'll kind of mix it up like that. How does that sound?
That sounds perfect, because I don't know how it's going to sound for you guys, but that sounds absolutely perfect. So
Okay, well, we're fortunate to have some amazing voices in our high school choral department, and they are led by the talented Mrs. Simpson, who has your first question.
Ah.
Hello.
Oh, hi.
My daughter, she was nervous about being on camera by herself. But we are both huge Wicked fans. And so I wanted to know, as your time as Elphaba, were there any times that you were singing Defying Gravity where the platform did not rise?
Sadly, yes, there was. It does happen. It happened both in New York and on Broadway and in the West End. Not very often, I'm thrilled to say, but it did happen. And when it does happen, most of the time, you just end up running forward and singing the song on the stage, which is a little anticlimactic when people have come to see you fly and to see you sing that song. So to get to the end of Act 1 and she doesn't fly is quite devastating, really. But that said, every time it did happen, there suddenly goes this kind of electric boom through the audience and on stage, and everybody seems to rise to the occasion. So it does cause a bit of excitement. But if it didn't work, you were always a bit like, oh, this is such a shame.
Right. Cool.
Thanks, guys. Thanks, guys. Nice to see you. Nice to meet you.
My question is, what was your favorite song to sing during your time in Wicked?
It totally depended on the day, because if it was like at the beginning of the week and I was in really good vocal health, then I would love singing things like No Good Deed, and I would enjoy Gravity. But then towards the end of the week, when it's been a long 8 shows, I would like things like I'm Not That Girl and For Good, and those kind of bit more softer songs. Gravity is always electric. But on a normal day, it was No Good Deed, I think, was my favorite. I just loved the drama. I loved I loved that moment in the show where she's kind of getting all dramatic and angry, and there's not very much happening. The show is the stage is quite bare, and it's just you singing that song, which was one of my favorite moments, I think.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks, you guys.
Kerry, we've got a couple more questions, and then we'll be ready for our first song. I would encourage, we've got lots of folks out there in technology land. If you want to put a question in the Q&A, I'm sure Kerry would love to get to those as well.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Hi, my name is Jessica. I actually saw Wicked with my mom and we loved it.
Oh.
But my question for you is, what is your dream Broadway role?
Oh, I mean, there's loads, I only did Wicked on Broadway, so I'd love to go back and do something else. I've done lots of West End shows, but I would love to go back to Broadway and do another show. I love doing Oliver in London, and that would be a great show to take to New York, because of just the songs and the atmosphere of the show and all the kids. It's a really fun family show. So maybe something like that. But there's lots of things I feel like I'm too young to do at the moment. Things like Gypsy, and I'd love to do Norma Desmond one day. I've never done Evita, The Baker's Wife, Sweeney Todd. I mean, there's so many, which is good because I don't plan on going anywhere just yet. I don't feel like retiring just yet. So there's lots still to do, which hopefully will keep me occupied when the theatre's open.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thanks so much.
Hello, I'm also a Kylie.
Hi, Kylie.
Hi, so I've actually seen Wicked twice within a 3-month span, one in Indiana and one on Broadway.
Wow.
And I was wondering if there were any Broadway actors that you looked up to as a kid and they're the reason that you kind of took acting as a career.
Yeah, I mean, I was a big Liza Minnelli fan when I was younger, and I think mainly because she was like the icon of everything, you know. She didn't just do musicals, but she did films and albums and concerts and musicals too. And I think I loved that about her. It wasn't just about one thing. It was about performance. I grew up, you know, listening to her singing cabaret and singing, and I had the cassette tape that I would play over and over in my bedroom and sing along to her singing those songs. And she's been a huge influence in my career, to also, for that reason, to not take one path, to branch out and do lots of different things. And so I owe a lot to Liza.
All right, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Kerry, that's so interesting. You would say that. I was doing a little bit of my homework, doing some Googling, and I think it was like on Broadway.com. They recently did a poll of the greatest songs in the history of Broadway, and Cabaret was #1. And so
I'm thrilled.
I would just absolutely love to see you in that role. But for now, could you possibly grace us with song #1?
I will. Well, I thought this was quite fitting because I'm about to go out to Taiwan and sing and be in the production of Cats again. I did it in London on the West End about 5 years ago at the London Palladium, and I'm about to go and do it. It's going to be my first show back, obviously, since the pandemic. So I'll get to sing this next song. So I thought I'd try it out on you. So I'm going to sing Memory for you, and let's hope that I can make this work with the music. Let's have a little go. So, all right, I don't want the music to be too loud. Let me just do a little test. Ooh. Can you hear that?
Yes.
Perfect. Then I'm gonna go. All right, so this is Memory. Thank you very much.
Oh, that was so wonderful.
Oh, could you hear that all right? Was that okay?
I did. Oh, absolutely. Especially the higher it went, the better it sounded. That's why I've got my fingers crossed on your second choice coming up.
No.
Maybe a little something from Wicked sure would be awesome. But
maybe I can find it for you. I wasn't going to do it. I was going to do A Million Dreams for you from The Greatest Showman, but I guess I could have a little go at Wicked if you want.
You know how we love Gravity.
Let me find it real quick.
Wait, you take your time because we've got some questions for you. So
amazing.
You can search. By the way, it's rather interesting, Kerry. Maybe one day we can actually get you here to beautiful Greensburg, Indiana. Would you believe Liz Calloway, who sang that on Broadway the first time and was Tony nominated, has actually sang that in our little auditorium?
No way. Well, I'd love to. If you're inviting me, I'm going to be there.
Okay, I've got one here. Hi, I'm from Taiwan. So exciting to hear that you will sing there. Best wishes to you. Thank you for sharing your beautiful voice with us. What did you feel like when the theaters closed down, and how long have you been doing musicals?
Well, I've been doing musicals pretty much all my life, but professionally, I guess the last 20 odd years. And how did I feel when the theaters closed down? I mean, heartbroken. I mean, it's hit the world, hasn't it? This pandemic has hit the world. And I think the sad thing is what our industry does usually is it gives people that escapism. It gives people that moment to to take them away from everything for a few hours and to tell a story, to make people feel something. And for that to be taken away, I think has been really difficult for everybody, for those on stage and those also off stage. And I can't wait for the theatres to open and to get back out there and get back performing and get back in theatres and see live entertainment again.
Here's another one for you, Kerry. Were you ever an understudy? If so, how hard is it to stay positive doing all the rehearsing, but with the chance of never going on stage?
Yeah, I actually was an understudy in my very first show. So I did My Fair Lady at the National Theatre in London. And I was an understudy to Eliza Doolittle, which was the lead role. And I did fortunately get to go on and play the role several times. And I think generally you do as an understudy, it's because that's the whole reason when you have those big shows like Wicked, like My Fair Lady, they're big things. It's just not sustainable for somebody to be able to do that 8 shows a week and never have a day off. So odds are you are going to go on, but the job is to understudy. So you have to just be ready. That's your job. And I think once you make peace with that, then I think it becomes more manageable. And then those moments when you do get to go on stage and perform those roles, it's just magical. And you never know where that's going to lead to either.
And I've got a couple more questions coming your way.
Hello, my name is Seth. I'm a student here in Greensburg High School, Indiana. My question for you is, what do you struggle with the most in your career?
I think I struggle with balance the most. Lots of people struggle with the uncertainty of the industry, but for me, I think I find it hard. I'm a mum as well. I have 2 boys, a 7-year-old and a 5-year-old, and I find it hard to get that balance, that work-home balance right, because I have a big passion for my job and I love it, and I want to do that all the time, but I also want to be with my family, all the time. So it's getting that balance right, which is the hardest bit. But I'm lucky in a sense that I get to do both. I get to have a career and I get to have a family too. And that's because I have an amazing network around me of support.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hey, how's it going? My name's Lucas.
Hi, Lucas.
My question to you is, what made you want to become an actress?
I think it was just always there. I went to a local dance school when I was younger, and I did lots of physical things like horse riding and trampolining and swimming, anything physical and active I was into. But performing was always my love, from going to ballet classes when I was 3. I just loved it. And there was never any question that I was going to give that up. It gave me so much joy, and I just had so much fun and just was dedicated to it from day one. And it's still the same way now. And I think it has to be, because it's such a competitive, difficult, stressful, painful and beautiful industry, that you have to be dedicated and you have to be passionate.
Right on. Thank you.
Thanks very much, Lucas.
Hi, my name's Colin. My question is, how nervous do you get when you get on stage to perform?
Yeah, I do get nervous. And I think nerves are good, Nerves are because we care and because we're excited. That adrenaline is running through our body, and it means that we want to do a good job. And nerves, I think, aid us in a way. I enjoy getting nervous. I like that, that flutter before you go on stage. I think it's when you don't get nervous, I think that's the time to stop. But nerves aid me and allow me to do things that I can't do in my normal life or in daily life. Oh, sorry. That's good timing. So yeah, I'm a big believer in nerves are a good thing, and I think you need to just channel them as a positive thing as opposed to a negative thing.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thanks.
Hello. My name is Carolina, and my question for you is, did anything in your childhood spark your interest to become an actress and perform?
Anything in my childhood? I think my very first dance teacher, Mrs. Thomas, remember, she looks like the classic dance teacher from like Billy Elliot. You know, she had the whole look going on, the big hair and the catsuit and the leg warmers. And I just idolized her. I was like, I want to be like you. You know, I love everything that you do and everything, how you move and how you talk to people and how you move to music. And that, I think, was massive. That inspired me hugely. And films, I think. I loved musical films. And that, you know, I would sit and watch things like The Wizard of Oz and Grease and what else did I sit? And anything that had music in it and song and dance, I was just hooked. So yeah, it happened early on for me.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Now, Kerry, were you able to find my favorite song?
I was. I'm a little bit nervous though. I wasn't quite prepared to sing it, but I think we can give it a go.
I think you'll be great, and then we'll just, you know, just take your time, and we'll invite everyone out there in technology world. If you've got any last minute questions for Kerry, send them our way. But this is the moment I've been waiting for so long.
Well, okay, so yes, I've been in Wicked. I was in Wicked in London and on Broadway, and this song, I guess, has changed my life in a sense. I've sung it all over the world, and it's a great song, and I am delighted to sing it for you. I wish I was there in person, and maybe one day I will be. But for now, this is Defying Gravity. Wish me luck. I hope it doesn't get too loud for you guys. Oh dear me.
Oh, you know, that was better than seeing you the first time.
Oh, thank you so much.
You know, you got time for a couple more questions?
Of course I have. Absolutely. Absolutely. Whew.
Hey, my name is Braden Jacobs, and I was wondering, what's your favorite memory or moment of your time performing?
There's so many. I mean, my first time on Broadway was something I dreamed of as a child, so that was pretty special. I perform a lot with Queen's guitarist Brian May, and we've done some amazing performances all over the world. We've performed in Rome, the Colosseum, we performed in Verona, in stadiums, and you know, that is obviously mind-blowing. But you know, every time I do a performance at a musical or a concert or something like this, you know, it's always special because it's a moment in time that you're sharing with people, and I'm grateful for all of those moments. I've had a career of 20 years plus, and I'm still grateful I get to still do it now, and long may it continue.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
It is me again. My question for you is, what has been your favorite place you've performed at?
Oh, that's such a good idea. Well, a place I just mentioned is a place in Verona that I got to perform at. You can see it on YouTube, actually. If you Google Kerry Ellis and Brian May, Verona, the arena that we performed in took my breath away. It looked like the Colosseum in Rome, and it was full of thousands of people. And we had an orchestra of about 100 people and a big choir and a band. And it was just one of those shows that I was like, if I never perform again, I'm good with this, because this is a moment to take with me for the rest of my life. So probably that one.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thanks.
Hi, my name is Jackie, and my question for you is, what was the moment that you decided you knew you had a special talent?
I don't think there was a defining moment as such. I think it was always a slow burn, you know. It was always learning on the job and progressing and trying to develop my voice and my performance skills and my acting through song skills. And it's been a journey, and I'm still working on it, you know. I'm still learning and still finding new things. And yeah, there wasn't really a moment. I guess Wicked did change things, and there was lots of press and TV and stuff, so I guess that elevated things. But yeah, I feel like there's still so much to do, and I still feel there's still a way to go. But
thank you.
Kerry, I've got a few in the chat room here waiting on us.
Yeah.
Let me start with, how does it feel? This is from Lori Durbin, one of our wonderful librarians in town. How does it feel to watch someone else play the role of Elphaba?
You know, I'm never really good at going to see a show directly after I've left it. I think because you're still really attached to the role, and you can't help but if you know, the show starts and you just start thinking of all the backstage stuff that goes on. So I like to have a little bit of time away. But when you've done a show for a period of time, I embrace the character and the role for that period of time, and then I say goodbye to it. So it's kind of nice to go back and watch a show and watch somebody else interpret the same character, especially when it's one that you've created. That's even more interesting. So something like We Will Rock You, that I created the role of Meatloaf, to go back and watch somebody else do that is lovely, because I was in the room initially and made all those choices. So to watch other people put their own spin on it is delightful.
Got a couple comments. Sorry, Wicked was my first Broadway show, so it holds a special place in my heart. And thank you for bringing back a special memory in such a special way. And that's from Trina. Sherry says, Kerry, just wow. And here's another question from a talented young lady, Lucy Gay. What does the character of Elphaba mean to you on a personal or professional level?
Oh, I mean, Elphaba was integral to my career, you know. I loved playing her. I love that she has such a dramatic journey. I enjoyed every night in the show. And in my professional career, it really was a landmark for me. It's the show that all the big belty girls want to sing, you know. They want to sing that role. So to have done it first in London was pretty big. And it's always been a very special show to me. To have that response and to have that reaction from a musical is something that I'll take with me. You know, it's very special. And it was a magical moment. It really was.
Mrs. Simpson, who had your first question, did tell us in the chat. She said, "Thank you for making me cry as you sang Defying Gravity." And
good tears, I heard. Happy tears.
Happy tears indeed. You know, and of course, I knew of your work with Brian May and Queen. When you look at the legacy of Queen and those great songs, which one stands out to you?
Well, I mean, the song that I sang in the show, No One But You, has a very special place in my heart because I not only got to sing it in the show, but I've gone on to sing it all over the world with Brian at times. And it's a song that was written about Freddie when he passed. And it just, every time I sing it, I just feel very proud that I got that opportunity to meet Brian and sing that song in the show. So probably No One But You. I mean, you know, there's so many Queen songs that I know and love and sing. Somebody to Love is another one I sing at a lot of my concerts. But you know, there's so many, and I'm still discovering to this day, which I love as well. You know, there's a big catalogue that perhaps isn't as known as some of the big hitters, and it's some beautiful music. There really is.
Well, you know, and if you make it to the stage of Greensburg, Indiana, I know a second-rate history teacher that would love to sing a few bars of Bohemian Rhapsody with you one day.
Well, I'll do that. That when I get there, I will definitely do that.
Well, you have meant so much to all of us around the world. You've meant so much to the Pratts, my wife Jill, my daughters Claire and Caroline, and you have just done an absolutely amazing job of inspiring us. And we needed that. We needed just a little bit to get us over the hump. We know there's hope around the corner.
There is.
And we'll be able to be seeing the Kerry Elsas of the world in person once again. And I can't wait for everyone back here in Greensburg, Indiana. Thank you so very much.
Thank you so much for having me. I've loved it. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Well, thanks again, Kerry.
Cheers, John. Thank you. Have a good one.
You
Bye.
too. Bye.